Hello Taurus, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to be watching this, this is when you were meant to see it, right? Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Okay? And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is a Prince of Discs. Now, the Prince of Discs is your energy. This is the card that represents Taurus in action. Okay, this is the air of the earth. Now we're going to put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, I also want to say that if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. All right, we're going to finish up the Dove and Serpent spread here. All right. Well, that's an interesting collection of energy. Excuse me, let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use Rider-Waite-Smith. And this card we're going to set down over here by this frog, and we're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. Okay? And hopefully that will tie everything together and, well, give us the confirmation we need at the end. Okay? So we've got major, 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 major. We've got these court cards, a lot of court cards right here. And we've got some water and some earth and some air. Okay, so it's a pretty balanced reading, pretty balanced spread today. But let's take a look at this Prince of Discs. Again, this is you in action. This is your Taurus energy really doing its thing. I think you're someone that is building. You're in the process of constructing something in your life. I think we say that a lot about Taurus, but it really does seem like for the last few months you've been working on something very significant. You have been trying to get everything in place, maybe trying to get the right people in place, the right materials, the right opportunities, set up the appropriate kind of networks and, you know, secure the financing, whatever it might be. You've really been putting in a lot of effort to this, and you're a very practical person. You really want to focus on this work, on whatever you're building. If it's, maybe you're literally building a house or something. You could be building a business. You could be building an organization, a community organization, a charity, a holistic kind of facility, or anything like that. The sky really is the limit, okay? Perhaps you'll leave some comments and let us all know kind of what your special project is. But I feel like it's really taking up a lot of your time. You know, I think it's really what you're focused on. This is your baby. This is what you're in love with. Okay. And looking around at these cards, we see the Two of Cups down beneath the surface. This is love, right? This is all based on love. And I think this Two of Cups might be talking about a couple of different things. We'll get to that in a moment. With the Prince here, this is almost as if you don't have time for anything else. Okay? You're so fully committed to this that anything else really that is not directly related to this project seems like a distraction. Okay? And that's where this Two of Cups kind of is doing a double duty here, because the Two of Cups really is showing me that this project, this thing that you're building, this is what you're in love with. This is your baby, right? You're really married to this work kind of thing. And anything else coming into your life that's not directly related to this is a distraction, and it is kind of a time suck. Okay. Even if this were to be the prospect of a love relationship, of a romantic relationship, right? And I kind of see this Princess of Cups here as being somebody new coming into your life that you kind of start to have feelings for. You kind of are considering a relationship with them, but it seems like it's going to be a distraction, right? It's almost like you're already in a relationship with this work, okay? So seeing this Princess of Cups is kind of distracting you a little bit. You're starting to feel kind of pulled in different directions. You have some feelings there, but you also know that you're fully committed to whatever this is that you're building. Maybe can we postpone things a little bit? Because you don't want to lose focus on what you're doing, right? You're of that mindset right now that it has to be nose to the grindstone. You don't have time for any of these what you might consider luxuries, superfluous kind of indulgences at the moment, okay? So when this kind of prospect of romance pops up, you're just kind of thinking, well, I want to, but maybe I'm being tested. Maybe this is one of those distractions that I need to be, resistant to, okay? So I think that's what's going to be happening in the next few days. You're going to start to see this person, and you're going to admit to yourself that you do have some feelings for them, but got that Tower energy at the top here. The way you're looking at it is, if I get into this romantic relationship, it's going to destroy everything that I've been working toward, right? Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is the perspective that might appear to us, right? This is how we might be looking at things. That getting into this kind of love romantic relationship is going to destroy and ruin all the work that we've done. Everything that we've built, all the progress that we've made so far, it's going to just destroy it, right? Now, this may or may not be true, but this is the fear, this is the worry, this is what we will expect. This is like, I can't get into this relationship because I'm putting all of my progress at risk. Okay? I'm risking everything. And, the tarot is not going to tell you what to do, and I'm certainly not going to tell you what to do. What we can do is try to see what the energies are going on in your life right now and how you might best deal with those energies, process those energies, at least to be aware of these energies and the kinds of things that are going to come along with these events and these particular energies, okay? Now, in the recent past, this is interesting. This is a Sun card, the 19th mystery of the tarot. And this, I think, is you really achieving this kind of independence in your life. I think maybe in the last year or two, you've really come into this kind of this maturity, this confidence, but this real, I don't know the right word, a comfortability. This is being independent. This is living your life, shining with your own light, and being just like damn happy about it. You know what I mean? So this could be really you coming to appreciate and really enjoy and really thrive in the kind of single, independent life. Okay? And I feel like this is something that, again, it's kind of the last year or two, you've started to really shine with your own light. You're doing your own will. You're working on your own project and your own path, what you feel is your purpose. You're really in love with this thing. You're married to this work that you do. And you feel good about it. You feel like you are radiant, like you are really thriving in this kind of independent lifestyle that you're leading. Okay? And so this is kind of the past thing. That this is also a factor in this kind of new potential relationship here. You're like, well, I really like my independence. I've really kind of grown into this lifestyle, and I really like it. It's really good for you. It's really fostering your creativity. You're shining with your own light, right? And it's probably taken you a lot of work to get to that point where you're comfortable being alone. You're thriving, right? You love this kind of independence. And you're doing your work. You're building whatever this is that you're building. But that Tower energy just says, hey, this is a fragile thing that I'm building. and that I have built with this Sun card, right? And you don't want this new these new feelings, this new potential relationship to jeopardize what you've built with the Sun card and what you're currently building with this Prince of Pentacles, you know? So the only real way forward is to detach ourselves from our emotions, both the emotions related to what we're building and what we have built. So detaching ourselves from this Two of Cups. Now this is the love for what we're doing, the love for our life and for ourself, and also these new feelings for this new person, which they could be a water sign person, maybe. We need to get away, we need to distance ourselves from the Two of Cups so that we can really objectively look at things, right? And this is the Queen of Swords. This is real clarity into our emotions. This is really, we get a bird's eye view of this Two of Cups and we can really see what's going on here, right? I think that's what's needed. I think it is it's getting a different perspective. Now this could be talking to a friend, a family member, a confidant, maybe a professional, to get a third party, an outside perspective, right? This could be communicating with your own higher self, higher soul, guardian angel, God, goddess, deity, right? We are kind of in the clouds here. And we're taking off the mask. See, this figure has taken off the mask. And that is because there are no illusions. We are being completely honest with ourselves. We're not hiding ourselves from ourselves, hiding behind the mask, right? So we've taken the mask off and we're looking at ourselves objectively. We're looking at our life objectively, as objective as possible. And we are not hiding anything from ourselves. Or if this is a third-party perspective, a professional, a close friend, a confidant, not hiding anything from them either, right? Being completely kind of open and bare in this, to get the perspective, right? To see things for for what they are and what their inherent risks might be. But then we get over to the path of the Serpent. And the first thing we see is this Eight of Discs. This is really the continuation of some of this Queen of Swords energy, getting this larger perspective, and then the Eight of Discs kind of slowing things down, right? Slowing things down, paying attention to the details. Not trying to make decisions too hastily, not trying to just assume that our first impulse is the correct one. We're really trying to slow things down and take stock, take account, okay? And this is the energy that is very diligent, very meticulous. It's not making hasty decisions. Doesn't feel rushed. Doesn't feel like you have to decide this between this Prince of Discs and Princess of Cups. You don't have to decide their fate right now, this moment. You can take your time. You can be cautious. You can dip your toe in the water, right? Princess of Cups. You can dip your toe in the water a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to just run and cannonball right in. You can just, sample. You can test it. You can see how it might feel, how it might go. And I think you're getting the perspective through this Queen of Swords that then will allow you to slowly and cautiously and very, very prudently see if it's possible, assess the situation. Is it possible for you to have both, right? If we take our time, we do things right, and we're very diligent, very attentive, very meticulous to our garden, can we have a few different plants in there? You don't have to just grow one thing, But you have to make sure that the two things that we plant are compatible, that they're not just going to, eat each other, We have to make sure that one or the other is not going to hog all of the resources till the other one dies out. So that's something that we can get perspective on through this Queen of Swords energy. Are these two things compatible? Can they coexist in the same, planter, box, garden? And do we have the resources ourselves within us to take care of both of these? Do we have the sunlight here with that sun card? Do we have the water with that Two of Cups to grow both of these? Is there enough for both? Will they get along with each other, and will they both thrive? Okay. So that's something that we need to figure out. And you can take your time and figure it out. You can plant a little bit and see how it does. Right? You can, again, dip your toe in the water and see if it's something that might make sense to you. But the key with this Eight of Discs is not to rush into a hasty decision and not to just hardline yes or no and that's it. You can take your time. No one's asking you to decide right now. And if they are, well, that's your decision right there, I think. But what we have in our resources, we have the Devil energy. So this is telling me a couple of things. One, it's telling me that you are typically someone who will fall in love with that one thing, and that consumes your whole life. That is what you kind of obsess over, hyper-focused, hyper-vigilant. That's what you devote all of your time and energy to, is that one thing. So can this energy, can it truly be split into two different things? Can you have this emotional love, romantic relationship, and your devotion to whatever this is that you're building, without sacrificing this independence and this solar energy that you've fostered, right? We don't want to forget about that. We don't want to sacrifice your independence, your autonomy, your individuality. So this Devil energy is saying, hey, is it even part of your nature to have both? Or do you have to kind of do one and then the other? Or give one up to have the other? And that seems to be the state of the energy right now. That's not to say it won't change in the future. Of course it will. It's probably different right now. If I were to take these cards, clear them off the table, and do 10 more, or 11 more, we'd see a completely different story, I think. We'd see a lot of similar components, but maybe some of the energy would change because I've changed, you've changed. The air in this room has changed since I first laid these cards out. But right now, the energy that we see is that it may not be part of your nature to split your obsession, right? And obsession is not a bad word. Obsession is not a bad word. To really master something, to really excel at something, you have to be a little bit obsessed with it. The thing that you spend days and nights working on, right? The thing that if you let it, you would forget to eat. You'd forget to sleep. You'd forget to even drink water. That's another important thing about this garden and this sunshine and this water. You have to take care of yourself first and foremost, right? You're not going to be able to make any kind of decisions if you don't take care of your body, your health, your well-being, okay? That's a very important part of the Eight of Discs as well, is really making sure that you're being watered and taken care of too, okay? The gardener needs to be healthy to tend the garden. So, I don't know, Devil energy. Something for you to think about, to try to get an objective viewpoint over, Fears, worries, and concerns, Emperor energy. This is kind of the transformation of this sun. The sun is very cheerful, very fulfilled, very loving and joyful, very confident, very outgoing, very charismatic, very independent, very happy. Are we running the risk of turning into a little bit of a tyrant over our lives? Are we a little bit too disciplined? Are we a little bit too rigid and structured? Are we a little bit too demanding of ourselves and of our environment? Are we a little bit too, OCD? It could be. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. This isn't about right or wrong anyway. This is about what is working for you and what is influencing the decision that it seems you're going to have to make, or that you may be making every day. Every moment of every day you may have to decide. Are you being too harsh with yourself? Are you being too disciplined, too strict with what you will and will not allow in your life? This sun is different than that. The sun is very confident, thriving, very energetic, very giving, very generous, very kind of, whatever comes my way, I'm going to give it light and love, But the Emperor is a little bit more discerning, a little bit more strict with that sunlight. Okay? And again, I think this is necessary for you to have the success and the mastery that you're looking for. But you need to get this bird's eye perspective, this objective vantage point to see if this is becoming a little bit too much. Maybe. It's for you to assess and for you to decide. The next card. 3 of Swords. Now, this I think is talking about the memory of your life before you attained this solar energy, right? Before you became this real strong, confident, outgoing, independent person. Like I said, it seems like in the last couple of years you really came into your own, right? You really started to shine with your own light. Before this, though, it might have been a different story. You might have had some self-esteem issues. You might have really battled with injury or illness or depression or just a lack of self-esteem, a lack of confidence. Okay? Maybe a lack of independence. But you've achieved that now. So you have the memory of life before that. And that's something that you don't want to go back to. So this is a memory that's kind of fresh in your heart mind right now. That under no circumstances do you want to return to this prior state. Okay. And this is also kind of just what it means on the surface. Heartbreak. Sorrow, right? By denying yourself this new love, this new relationship, are you in some ways accepting sorrow and suffering and heartbreak as a necessary part of your path because you're so obsessed, in a good way, hyper-focused on this work that you're doing, that it seems like heartbreak and suffering and denying yourself a love relationship is kind of par for the course? The 3 of Swords is asking these kinds of questions. It's not telling you the answers. It really wants you to ask the questions. Okay? And find your own answers. So there's the 2 aspects of that I think are really crucial here, really important to kind of what's going on, to kind of an underlying current here. Okay? Mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This could be something, because we see a lot of majors, we see the court cards here. I almost would like something, maybe an eon or judgment, rebirth, reawakening, that would work. A 6 of something would work. 6 of anything would be quite lovely right now. Let's see what we have. We've got a 3 of Wands. Okay. So that's not too bad. We got the 3 of Swords, right, giving us the memory of life before this sun energy. Something, a state we don't want to go back to. And then also this is the question of, are we accepting suffering and denial of love and romance as a necessary part of the path that we're on? Okay. And then we have a 3 of Wands. So the Three of Wands this is talking about what you won't accept as par for the course, right? This is you ultimately, if we are in this kind of, it's almost a romantic kind of thing, right? Where we're just so committed to this work that we're doing that we are just destined to experience loss and heartbreak and sorrow and suffering, and then we're not allowed to have a love romance relationship because of the path that we've chosen, right? It's kind of a romantic thing. You might read that in like some gothic novels or something, some romance novels, but it's it's kind of the lonely alchemist kind of thing, so committed to the work that there's no time for earthly love, right? But this Three of Wands is really asking you more questions, because it's through asking questions that we come to a greater understanding. This is asking you what you will and will not accept as part of your path. What does your soul tell you? What does it really feel like inside if you say, look, I'm not allowed, or I'm not destined to have a romantic relationship because I'm so committed to this work? What does your conscience tell you? What does your higher self, higher soul, what does your guardian angel, God, goddess, deity tell you? Right? With the three here, it's this idea that we have to hold on to one thing at the exclusion of the other two, okay? Or in this case, the other two. That we are so committed to this Emperor energy, our discipline. We have to be very strict. We can't let any foreign element into our lives, because it will jeopardize what we're building and what we've built and the progress that we've made. And I believe that. I think that's true, sure. But what if this is not a foreign element? What if this is not something that can come in and upset the entire system? What if this is the missing piece that belongs in this system to really bring it to another level? So we have to ask ourselves, are we being forced by our own self? Are we being forced into choosing one to the exclusion of everything else? Are we being too strict where we're not even considering the idea that this could be a necessary component in our lives and not a foreign element that's going to disrupt everything? All right. So this is asking the question about your commitment to what you're doing, and about your about your understanding of what it is that you really are doing, right? What is it that you are building? And I think a lot of that's going to come with this Queen of Swords energy, this perspective that you get. But asking these questions with the three and the three, trying to get to a deeper understanding of what we're doing and why, right? Why do we feel like we have to deny ourselves this love relationship? Why do we feel like that's going to be a foreign element to disrupt the whole system? Right? Why do we feel like, or what is going on within us, that getting into this romantic potential relationship is going to jeopardize this independence, this autonomy, this kind of solar energy that we have? Right? These are some of the questions. We're going to go ahead now and do the extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, and I do hope that you will, you can click on the link that's right up here, and you can have access to all of the extended readings for all signs. Okay. This was your timeless tarot reading on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Whenever you happen to be watching this, this is when it's meant for you. Okay. I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you.